Hello, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Hi, sorry, just cut off there. I've just got a question. I don't know if you can answer this.
I can see.
So you had a video at your local convention recently. It was a Paradise one. Do you know the one?
Yeah.
Do you remember the theme song behind it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've just been doing some research, and that song is actually by Audio Machine Epica. I was just it's called Eternal Flame, and I was just wondering why the organisation would be using worldly music in a convention video.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm pretty, because I've heard a bit. The best thing to do would be call. I'm just a lunchtime reception cover, but if you call just after 1, we might have to put you into contact with someone that can explain that.
Okay, that's great. Who will I be talking to?
If you just call up this number again, and then there'll be another receptionist, and then they'll probably know which department can probably best handle it. And there's probably a very good answer to that one.
Okay. So will the receptionist just pass me on, or is?
Yeah. I'm not fully sure which one who would handle it best. But
is there anyone there now that I can talk to? It's just obviously it's quite a weird thing. It's quite a weird thing to do, considering the fact that we're told no part of the world and worldly music and whatnot, and then to have at a convention Epica's Eternal Flame song on the backtrack of a Paradise video. That is quite a big thing, I would say. Don't you think?
I can understand what you're saying, but are you sure? When did?
Am I sure it's the song? Am I sure it's the song? I've got the video of the Paradise video, and the recording, and I've got the actual song and the album here as well, and they're literally identical. There's no difference. So I'm quite shocked that the society must have known that was a worldly song. A lot of effort, you can tell a lot of effort and time has been put into the video, so to miss something as big as that is quite shocking to me. Do you want to just take the name of the song and then you can look it up yourself if you like? It's by Audio Machine. The other thing is a lot of their songs are actually satanic. That's another thing that I was shocked at.
That's why I'm suggesting that you call back up, because someone would be able to explain why that is like that. Because I'm just, like I say.
Have I been the first one to question this? Call up and question this?
I don't think you're the first person to. Well, sorry, you're the first person to say that we've taken it from whoever this is.
Alright, because if you go on YouTube and you put in Audio Machine Epica Eternal Flame, which is the name of the song, the song's been there for at least 3 years, and obviously the convention video was only released this year, so they've clearly taken it from Epica. They must have paid Audio Machines to be able to use their song, but that aside, it's more of the case that they've used a worldly theme song when they've got the capability of making their own. They've used a worldly theme song, especially one that's used a lot of satanic music, in a Paradise video at an organisation that claims to have no part of the world and tells us that we can't have careers in the world, like music careers and stuff. To me, it seems really hypocritical, don't you think? If it is the case,
that's why I'm thinking there's probably. I'd be very surprised if they have paid in some way for this song.
So then that's a bit worrying. If they haven't paid for the song, then it's a copyright issue.
There's probably something bigger to the picture than I can just take a guess at.
Okay. Well, it'd only be two of one things. Either they've breached copyright and used it against Audio Machine's permission, or they've paid Audio Machine, and so either way, it's very clearly the song of Audio Machine, and either way, it's very questionable to what the organisation has just done. And I'm really shocked because I've heard things and I found out things that have been confirmed about what the organisation has done and is doing. But to me, that is blatantly obvious. I just don't understand that. That's really obvious and it's shocking, to be honest. Especially when you wouldn't mind so much if it wasn't continuously told to us that you can't do this, can't do that, to stay away from the world, and the next thing they're using something that's a satanic song. It just seems really hypocritical.
That's why I'm thinking that it probably isn't the society haven't done anything wrong. If you think, like you say, it's a silly mistake to make, so why would they make something like that? That doesn't make sense. But like I say, if you go back after one, then someone's pretty good at this. Got a better answer than that.
Okay, well, if you want to just jot down the song and then you can speak to someone, that maybe in the head office. Do you want to take the name?
I've written it down. Are you sure you don't want to call back and then someone can probably answer it better for you?
Yeah, I can call back. It's just if you can get someone to look into it beforehand, so I'm not wasting time. You know what I mean? And I don't want to waste your time. So Eternal Flame, Epica, Audio Machine, and it's the Paradise video. They've used it as the backdrop, and if you play both of them at the same time, they're literally the same. There's no differences.
Okay.
All right. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.
Push up all the gate.
Hi, is this the Bethel?
Oh, sorry, I've got some other listing on here. Excuse me. This is Watchtower. How can I help you?
Hey, no worries, that's fine. I spoke to someone at reception this morning. He said to call back after 1.
Right. And who would you like?
Well, I'm not too sure. I'll just tell you what the inquiry was about. And then you can obviously see who I need to speak to. It was regarding the Paradise soundtrack on the convention video.
Right.
The soundtrack is actually made by Audio Machine Epica. It's called Eternal Flame.
Right.
And I was just wondering why that is, considering it's a worldly song used in a convention video.
I'll put you through to the service department. I think they're the ones that would handle a query like that. Just one moment, please.
All right, cheers. Thank you.
Hello, service department.
Hi. Okay, this is Sam. You all right?
Good, thank you.
I spoke to a receptionist this morning, and he said to call back in the afternoon after 1 o'clock, to speak to someone. It's just about the convention video. Do you remember the Paradise video? This year, the Paradise video this year.
Well, there were a few. Do you mean the very last one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the final one after the bunker videos. Do you remember the back song of it?
Yes.
So it's actually made by Audio Machine Epica. It's called Eternal Flame. It's track number 12. So my question was, why have the society used a worldly song that was made in 2012 in a society's video?
Okay. When you say worldly, do you mean that it's not being made by Jehovah's Witnesses?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's nothing in writing, but I guess if you, for example, go to our magazines, the Watchtower and the Awake, you'll notice very often at the bottom of the pictures it says taken from archive belonging to so and so.
Yeah.
So the brothers will have gotten a picture from a worldly company and paid for the rights to use it, and then put it on our literature. But that does not make it wrong.
Well,
just as we use many other resources. So I would say in this case, the brothers have used a soundtrack for a video that was composed by someone else.
Well, if that is the case, it's still quite shocking considering there's a few reasons I find it really hypocritical. Firstly, we as witnesses were told that we couldn't further our careers in the music industry. Last year there was a video at one of the conventions about a young boy. He wanted to play. He wanted to stay in after school and do music, and he wasn't allowed to. His father said so. So there's that side of it. They were told to have that we're no part of the world. There is plenty of brothers and sisters that have, and there's plenty of people that could use. You could have used the victory song from the songbook for that scene. So the fact that the society are using contributions that should be doing the preaching work to pay worldly companies for companies that also produce that some would consider satanic music. I'm not saying this one in itself is, but they do use, they do create satanic music. So for the society to pay to use that when they have the capability of creating their own music or using one that's already made, like the victory song in the songbook, I think that is really hypocritical and unacceptable, to be honest. Don't you agree?
Do a bit of research about it.
What research is there to do other than the fact that very clearly they have used Epica's Eternal Flame song by Audio Machine.
That's not the research I'm talking about. I'm talking about Bible principles, brother.
Well, okay, Bible principles. Do you think that okay, going by Bible principles, sorry. Do you think it's acceptable for the organisation to say we're no part of the world, to not be able to further one's career in the music industry, and then to be paying, because I can guarantee it was a couple of millions to get hold of that song and use in the video, to then use money that's donated to them, okay, for the preaching work and for the building work, in putting a worldly song into a video that's to do with no part of the world. It is really ironic.
Do you mean, brother, that you think it would have been cheaper to make the music ourselves?
I'm not saying about the fact it's cheaper. I'm saying about the principle of it.
You seem to imply that it was a bad use of contributions.
Yes, I do think it was. I think it was an extremely
cheaper to pay for rights.
I think it was an extremely
already composed and composing ourselves. That would have actually been good use of contributions.
So you're telling me that they weren't able to use the victory song from the songbook on the scene for the Paradise? That they had to use that some would consider a satanic album, okay, in a so-called God's organization video. Do you see how that is very hypocritical? And when this comes to light,
well, when you say satanic, what do you mean?
I mean, some of their songs are satanic. They've been used in the Harry Potter, the Call of Duty. There's many videos and games and stuff that are questionable to some. Right, I'm not saying to myself, but to some, and especially for an organisation that claims to be God's directed organisation, and to have no part of the world, to either pay for the rights of that video, when they have songs available, or they have the capability of creating a song with the amount of brothers and sisters that can play and sing and compose. Are you telling me that that's not beyond possibility? And okay, so. Okay, let's say that they felt that was the only path to go into to get the rights for it. How about is that something? Do you think the organisation would be willing to tell its followers and the people that have contributed to paying for that? How do you think the witnesses are going to feel and start to think when they realise that their organisation, their contributions have just gone towards paying for the rights to use a worldly song, and then they're told that they have to be no part of the world, and there's no excuse considering there's a victory song in the songbook that could have been used? I just think that's really unacceptable, and there's no excuse for it.
Well, brother, that's your opinion about it. I know many brothers who know about it, and it hasn't stumbled them. If
really?
It stumbled you, perhaps it's something you have to make a matter of prayer.
Are you saying in the new system, we're going to be able to keep all the entertainment that we have then?
Well,
because
we'll see what happens.
do you see how this does not reflect in a good way upon the organisation?
No,
and
I don't see it. Sorry.
I'm quite astonished that someone like yourself and other brothers and sisters in Bethel, the headquarters and the branches, think that is acceptable. You really need to pray on what you think is acceptable, considering you claim to have no part of the world, and yet you're using contributions that should be used in preaching, right? Preaching, spreading the good news, not in paying for rights to use a music video that's created by a worldly company and some would class as satanic, okay, in a paradise video when you have songs available and you have people available to compose music. There is no excuse whatsoever in my eyes to do that. There is no biblical principle that you can use because it is very clearly twisted and it's ironic and it's hypocritical.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you feel this way, brother. I would advise you speak to the elders in your congregation. Maybe they can help you to understand.
I think there's that. How can you just stop a second and think about the words you just said? Help me to understand. I think you need to reflect on how to understand your hypocrisy. I don't need helping in to understand anything other than your twisted reasoning on that. That is very twisted and very hypocritical. And I will. What you just said. You've just said help me to
the elders in your congregation.
Oh no, you've just said to help me understand. Okay, when you're the one that's saying that. Oh well, we couldn't have used the victory song from the songbook. We couldn't have composed one. We couldn't have done anything else other than pay a company to use a worldly song on a paradise video at a convention. That is twisted.
Well, many things at the convention cost money.
But
stadiums cost money.
On things that aren't hypocritical. On things that aren't hypocritical.
Money which we rent from worldly companies too. Everything costs money. Everything we receive, the magazines, the articles, the research that goes into the articles, the images we pay rights for. Clips of videos we may also pay rights for. Everything costs money and everything's produced for a very good reason.
Brother, I think you're focusing on the money part where
it would be best if you speak with the elders in your congregation.
I will.
That's something you want to do.
I will do. But I think you're focusing on the money, but the things you've just listed are things that are benefiting the organisation and the brothers and sisters there. Whereas something.
We're very touched by the convention and the videos and the music, and they were very uplifted.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that after finding out that video was actually created by a worldly company, and the contributions they use.
You mean the music?
So the music, the music on the video. You know what I mean, yeah?
Not the video.
No, but the music on the video. And this isn't the first thing that's come to light. Also, one of the videos last year, you've got actors. You've got brothers acting. They're actually quite well known in America. Okay, famously, that have been on TV, that have music careers, and then in the same convention, you've got a video saying about not furthering the career. So, one of the guidelines to be in those videos is you have to be, you have to be in a good standing in the organisation's eyes, and no, there's no doubt that you haven't got the ability to see these things and to know what's going on. I know I'm not on about you in yourself because it's not you that does it, but you do need to stop and reflect on the fact that you can say, well, it costs money to do this and that. There's no excuse for not using the victory song from the songbook. There's no excuse for not being able to compose a song. Okay, they had the choice.
I'm sorry you feel this way, but it is your opinion. As for those others,
it's my opinion.
Meet them and speak to them and ask them what their spiritual life is like now. Maybe you'll realize it's not exactly what you think.
Well, okay, so my friends that one of my friends got disciplined, okay, got told off by an elder for her hairstyle, okay. So, do you not see how this is it's such a contradiction for elders and the ones higher up in the organisation to go, you can't wear skinny jeans like Anthony Morris said on the talk. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't further your careers, and then yet there they are using worldly music, okay? I personally like the album. All right, so I've got nothing against the album. It's the principle of it. It's the fact you tell us one thing, and there is the organisation doing another.
Well, brother, the principle that you mentioned is a scriptural principle. So when it comes to dress and grooming, we can refer to the scriptures. Yeah. So when it comes to using resources for the nations, we can also refer to the scriptures. So we shouldn't be mixing things. I think you are mixed up in some of the things you're saying.
Okay, can I just go on to the dress and grooming? You say it's modest in dress and grooming. Okay, I had an elder approach me and say my hair was too wild because my hair is naturally curly. Okay, he said I need a haircut. Now, there is no you cannot say there's a scripture that you can say dress and grooming, yeah, but that doesn't highlight exactly what in dress and grooming. Now, then that's when an elder comes to you, it's his opinion, and his opinion is based on his rate where he's raised, his culture, and other things that take place in it. Okay, so just as if Jesus was
just the verse about dress and grooming being modest, then we also have to think about principles that will balance the situation, such as taking into account the consciences of others.
Yeah, and so did the society take Did the society take mine and the 7 million other consciences regarding the music that they've just provided?
I'm very sure they did. And
well, clearly not, because if my hair's
if you're concerned, I think it's not wrong to pass your concerns. If you want to write to us,
yeah, I will.
Dear brothers, I was stumbled because this soundtrack was used. You know, you can write to us and let us know.
Oh, I will be doing that, and I'll be approaching some of the elders because just as you just said that I would have to take into consideration others' consciences regarding my hairstyle and my dress. Well, even more so when they've just produced a video that's going out to 7 million people plus. Okay. So if I have to go into a congregation and be aware of my dress and grooming just based on the opinion of an elder that doesn't like it, then how much more so does your organisation have to reflect on the consciences of the 7 million followers?
So of course, it's the same. Our principle applies to all, and I'm sure they are very thoughtful when it comes to producing material that reflect brothers and sisters.
Well, someone's thought process.
Feel free to communicate this, of course.
Yeah, well, all I can say is someone's thought process was really messed up there, and it's not just one thought process because that gets analysed and checked and everything before it gets released to the public. So there's a lot of brothers in Bethel, brothers and sisters in Bethel, and even the governing body that have questionable consciences and should be questioned, to be honest, especially the governing body. If they've allowed that to go out, I think it's disgraceful, to be honest. It's very hypocritical, and I think you should pass this on to the superiors of you and then whoever else, because this is going to be released soon. Lots of people are going to be talking about it. I know.
Many know already. Everybody I know around me know about it.
Yeah, it's funny because I asked my mum, I asked my brother, and none of them know. And yet, it's funny that the Bethel always seems to know about these things, but everyone else, the flock, the congregations, the elders in the congregations.
If it helps you, I didn't find out from a Bethelite.
You found out from someone outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that a few. There's probably as well ones calling up because I spoke to the guy this morning. He said, the thing is, right, it's very hypocritical, and you just need to. I think you need to speak to someone about the fact that you cannot be teaching.
I don't fully agree with your saying it's hypocritical, brother. Again, as I said, Bible principles come into question, but I respect that you might be stumbled or might not have liked it, and I respect your feelings about it. So, it's not wrong to express how you feel about it. It's fine.
Well, that you say the other thing, you say that it's okay to express my feelings about it and things, and this is not the only thing that I've expressed my concern about. But let's be honest. If we express our opinion or our feelings regarding this to the elders in the congregation, we could get done for apostasy or something.
Well, I think that's a completely different subject. Do you understand what apostasy is?
Yes. Well, actually, the term that the organisation uses for apostasy is not the real term. An apostate is someone that doesn't have the same beliefs. But I know I've actually known personally ones that have been disfellowshipped for apostasy over just questioning some of the things the governing body have approved of, and that in itself, I think, is. It just shows the sort of control the organisation has over its people. You know. Anyway, I've spoken to you enough. Very clearly, it's something that you and Bethel agree on. I just think you do need to pass it on that this is hypocritical and it is very concerning that it's been allowed. And you can say Bible principle as well. That can be said about anything. And the fact that they haven't taken, I don't agree with the fact they've taken 7 million consciences into consideration.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, brother.
Okay.
And best thing you can do is stay close to the congregation and keep your Bible study up.
Okay. All right. Well, take care then. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.